When it comes to building a successful orthodontic practice, one of the most important but also most misunderstood topics is team composition. We often hear phrases like birds of a feather flock together or opposites attract. But the real question is, what actually works best inside a dental or orthodontic team? On one side, we have very homogeneous teams. Everyone thinks alike, communicates quickly, understands each other almost without words, and daily workflows run smoothly and calmly. Conflicts are rare, decisions are implemented fast, and the atmosphere feels stable and predictable. This can be incredibly valuable, especially in areas where precision, speed, and reliability are more important than constant change. On the other side, we have diverse teams. Different personalities, opinions, experiences, and backgrounds come together. Discussions are more intense, ideas collide, and creativity increases. New solutions emerge that a very uniform team might never even consider. This kind of diversity brings energy, innovation, and growth, but it also requires structure and good leadership to prevent conflicts from getting out of hand. In reality, team diversity is not a black or white issue. It's not just about personalities. Diversity includes age, professional experience, length of service within the practice, cultural background, communication styles, and even subtle regional or social differences. Especially today, when many practices operate in multicultural environments, these factors play a bigger role than ever before. Age and experience alone can create tension. A young practice owner leading a team with long-standing older employees faces very different challenges than someone managing a team of mostly trainees and young assistants. Experience within the practice also matters. Someone who has been part of the team for 10 or 15 years naturally holds a different position than a highly experienced newcomer who still needs time to integrate. Culture influences leadership expectations, communication, hierarchy, and collaboration. In some cultures, leadership is expected to be very direct and authoritative. In others, flat hierarchies and open discussion are the norm. If these differences are ignored, misunderstandings are almost guaranteed. That's why the key question is always, where do you want to go with your practice? If your goal is innovation, growth, expansion, and constant improvement, then you need a higher level of diversity. Different viewpoints push each other forward and help develop better solutions. If your goal is stability, smooth workflows, low staff turnover, and fast execution with minimal friction, then lower diversity and stronger homogeneity can be a real advantage. Most practices actually need both. Different areas require different team structures. A diverse group of doctors can be extremely beneficial for treatment planning, discussion, and decision-making, as long as there is a clear framework and shared goal. The best possible outcome for the patient. At the same time, highly stable and closely aligned teams are essential in areas like administration, billing, lab work, or chairside assistance, where trust, routine, and seamless cooperation are critical. Leadership plays a central role here. Differences should be encouraged, but they also need boundaries. Open discussion is valuable, but decisions must eventually be made, goals must be aligned, and everyone needs to move in the same direction. It's also important to remember that teams are never static. Adding or removing even one person can shift the entire dynamic. Sometimes you don't need to hire or fire anyone at all. Simply moving an employee into a different role or department for a limited time can bring fresh perspectives, improve processes, and reveal hidden talents, as long as the change is communicated clearly and prepared properly. Another practical approach is building bridges within the team. If there's a large age gap, introducing team members who fall somewhere in between can improve communication and cohesion. The same applies to gender balance or differing work styles. Small adjustments can have a big impact. Finally, team composition also affects your patients. A very homogeneous team naturally appeals to a narrow patient group. A more diverse team allows different patients to connect with practitioners who feel familiar to them or, in some cases, deliberately different in a way that creates trust and motivation. This flexibility can be a real strength. In the end, there is no universal formula. Homogeneous, heterogeneous, and diverse teams all have their place. What matters is awareness, intentional design, and leadership that understands when to encourage similarity and when to embrace differences. If you regularly reflect on your team structure and align it with your goals, you create not only a more successful practice, but also a healthier, more satisfied team in the long run.